Alright, so I guess we'll start with the class itself. Just set up a blueprint class of the actor type. And over here in your components, top left, I just made it BP movable. It'll start out with just like a root component. You want to add from here, find capsule component. I just named it capsule, and then just drag that onto the root component. It'll replace it with a capsule component, and then add a sphere mesh, and then that's about all you need to do there. I added a couple variables down here. One is a location variable set to vector. The other is a timer variable set to float. I want to do a couple things with collision. So you click on your capsule, come over to details, search collision. Most important things are you want to go to collision presets, make sure it's on custom. Collision enabled, put collision enabled query and physics. Object type, I put it as pawn because that's kind of the typical collision channel that you use for like moving objects, but you can also set up like your own custom channels in the collision you go to like project settings and then collision, you can set up like your own channels. Like I've set up a few custom ones for like enemies and attacks and stuff like that. But for you, just maybe throw it on pawn. For now, just throw it on block all. I want to say the channel it really is going to depend on is world static, because the terrain and most blocks and stuff whatever you're using as your ground is probably a world static. But just throw it on block all for now to be safe. That's all I really have to worry about there. So I have on begin play, I got my sphere mesh over here. I'm getting the relative location, and I'm setting that location variable to that relative location. That's all you're doing on begin play. I set up a custom event here. Just right click, hit custom event. I named it move. So you're going to take location here. You're going to go get random location and navigable radius. Plug in location to the origin. I just did a radius of 1. It still moves around pretty good, but it could just be, you've messed around with the scale of things and it may not move around as much, or if you don't want it to move at all, then just don't even do this. But get random location, navigable radius. You're going to call a move component 2. You're going to link in the component to your sphere component. The location, target relative location from the random navigable radius. And then as soon as that's completed, just call it again. Same component to the sphere. This time the target relative location is going to be coming from that location variable that you set on begin play. Under tick, got that timer variable. So you're going to pull off onto a set that timer variable. You're going to pull off the delta seconds, add that to your timer variable, and then set it. I have a greater than test here. I just put like 2, a low number, a branch condition. So if it's over 2, it's going to call that move event and then set the timer back to 0. And that gives you the result of, I will show you. So you got like a little floating ball, just kind of bounces there. And I mean, if you didn't want it to move, all you'd really have to do is just disconnect your tick. And it'll just sit there hovering. So hopefully that's what you wanted. Hopefully this helps.